gentlemen, welcome to another episode of the Side Projekt Podcast. Yes. Oh, wait a minute. I gotta take a sip out of the new Run It Up merch. The Run It Up mug and the Run It Up tea. I'm running it up here, ladies and gentlemen. Let's take a drink together. If you've got yours, let's take a drink. God, you know what that tastes like? Tastes like success, ladies and gentlemen. It tastes like success. I know if you're drinking out of yours right now as well, you're like, ooh, tomorrow you're gonna have a successful day. That's for sure. Ladies and gentlemen, we're wasting no time here today. I've got somebody awesome joining me this week, whom is an actor, a writer, a producer, an entrepreneur even, if you will. Someone who has been making waves for a flurry of fandoms since 2012. You may know him from the series Reverse Flash, Origins, or maybe you know him from Arrow, Unlimited. Maybe you've heard some rumblings recently on this show about a production he's a part of, Qui-Gon Legends, a Star Wars series. You might have seen clips from an X-Men fan film that he's a part of, or maybe, just maybe, you've heard him from like his extensive Power Ranger work on projects such as First Ninja, Rise of the Ninja, Shattered Past, and or Bloodline of the Grid. Co-creator of Crimson Vision Studios, a producer at Nerdbot Studios, just coming off the Anime Riverside convention. Let's give a round of applause and a warm welcome to Colin K. Bass. How's it going, dude?
Going great after that intro, man. That was amazing.
Thank you, man. I'm stoked to finally have you here, dude. We've been talking back and forth. I think it's been like a couple months here and there, a couple chats and everything, and then trying to make this happen. I know you've been super busy. I've had a couple other guests that were scheduled, you know, and I didn't want to kick them off and be like, no, Colin's coming and we'll get you later. I didn't want to, you know, try to keep it neutral and respectful for everybody, man. So I'm glad that you're finally here, dude.
Me too.
You are one hard worker, man. Every time I see you, it is just consistently working and putting out quality content, dude. And I mean this when I say it, it's admirable, man. And I'm sure people definitely want to hear some discussion on the projects that you're a part of, been a part of, and or are working on. But before we even dive into that, I want to take things down a different road first. The Anime Riverside convention. Not only was the Ranger Legacy event held there, but you pretty much helped kind of bring this whole thing to life. The marketing, booking talent, the panels, the behind the scenes work, and pretty much the face of it as well. I'm sure there's gotta be some interesting stories on how putting a convention together can actually be, like the behind the scenes stuff that not everybody maybe got to see. This thing was just a couple weeks ago, the Riverside one, and it was definitely a success. What's it been like? How did this all come together for you in the first place, you know, doing the behind the scenes stuff for the convention?
Well, I made the switch over to Nerdbot full-time after COVID. I did Star Wars product development for Ruby's Costume Company for like 6 years. COVID hit, did unemployment / the acting route, and then Nerdbot hired me full-time. And we kind of didn't know what I was going to do. We just knew that we could get a lot done if I was there full-time. So it became like producing and selling merch on Nerd Up and different social media stuff. Then Elvin, my boss, was like, hey, I think I might have an anime convention at Anime Riverside. And then I was like, in my head, I'm like, oh, this is my new job. Okay, here we go. And I just kept saying yes to everything because I was there to social media posts and like help me out. Then I started being like, what's up, guys? Colin from Anime Riverside. And then that was like one of like 1,000 times I did it. And I basically just kind of like stumbled my way into the position. But then it became this thing where, hey, this is actually working. And the interviews with the celebrities went well. Doing posts went well, and me being like the face of it all went well. Then when it came closer and closer to the convention, I can lift things, I can drive things, you know, just
right.
More and me saying, yeah, I can do that. Yeah, I can do that because I want this life. I love the industry, and it kind of just, I never really said no to anything, and then that kind of cemented my spot as one of the showrunners, I would say. I guess. I hope that's not too much to say, but
no, you can see it on social media. You're all over it in a good way. I don't even mean that as a bad thing. You're all over it. You're putting your stamp on it, you know, and I think it's resonating with people too. Yeah,
and I believed in it. I really believed in it. Riverside's never had anything like that before. I loved downtown Riverside, and as the con started as a convention center, it started slowly taking over the city. And in my head, it reminds me of San Diego Comic-Con, which is a huge reason why I'm in this industry. So I was just like, yeah, I can help you. And also, I really look up to my boss, and I just want to make his life easier. So I keep saying yes, yes, yes. And then all of a sudden, I'm in up to here in Anime Riverside stuff, kind of counting, and I go, okay, maybe I should say some no's next time. No, it really just became like, I thought I was just doing marketing. And then I was like, I can do the interview. I know Naruto stuff. I can do the interview. I know Power Rangers. And then Ranger Legacy did well last year at Anime Pasadena. And I was supposed to just run Ranger Legacy, but it became more and more of me just going like, hey, I can help you with that. I can help you with that. And when I wasn't failing or messing up, it actually ended up working pretty well. So,
that's awesome. And it's the confidence behind it though, too. You know what I mean? It's the confidence behind it. You even said yourself that you were confident about it. You're going, you know, if you just kind of go and do it, if you overthink it, I mean, you definitely think about stuff and make, you know, do the right job. But like, if you overthink about it, then you're worrying about it even more. And then you're leaving that room open for like, you know, messing up things or whatever. If you just kind of go into it like, yeah, I got this, I can do this. You know what I mean? And try not to doubt yourself too much. You're just going. And I think that's, you know, that's something, I feel like that's something you're kind of used to too, in my personal opinion, at least on the outside, you know, looking in. You have your hands in a lot of different things. So I just feel like you're just kind of one of those people who are like, you know what, I got it. You know what I mean? I can do it. I got it.
No, that's accurate. And I kind of went in just doing what I would want to see as a fan, you know? And that's, that's my whole writing perspective is like, what would I want to see? And when I write these episodes or come up with these ideas, it's like, I've never seen this before. I've never heard this question. So I did like fake it till I made it. And then the content was success and we're in the green and already working on our next one. I was like, all right.
That's awesome, dude. Have you ever done anything like this before as far as like the responsibilities? I know you said it was your first time kind of doing Anime Riverside and all that, but have you ever touched on anything like that before? Was this your complete first time?
No, I was always like the panelist guy or like, you know, I'd help out a little bit with Ranger Legacy, but I was more like not behind the scenes. They're always just like, Colin, you're on this panel or moderating it, or you got to be at the booth and talk to fans, that kind of thing. This was the first time I did a lot of behind the scenes stuff, and it was fun, like throwing out ideas for what we could do or what characters should be on the promo for the day, little things like that. And I got to, because I'm like Toonami old school with anime. So I'd throw a character out and the graphic design team would be like, who? And I'm like, trust me, people will.
It's going to resonate with people. I got this. Just trust me. Well, you did a great job, man. And I believe you're doing it all again. If it's not you, it's Nerdbot, at least, if I'm not mistaken, as Anime Pasadena is looking to land on November 19th and 20th. Are you going to be that heavily involved in the Pasadena iteration as well?
Yeah, maybe a little bit more in like a hands-on kind of way. Cause I was me like tiptoeing like, hey guys, come on down to Anime Riverside. Now I think we're going to lean in, and those like celebrity interviews that we did on Instagram Live were really helpful, and panels and stuff. And the ones that I pitched were pretty crowded. So I think that'll have like more of a say in things too. But so I kind of, like I said, I kind of stumbled into my role for Anime Riverside. I think I'm just starting feet on the ground for Anime Pasadena.
Nice. And what can be expected at Anime Pasadena for maybe people that don't know, haven't gone before, didn't tune into Riverside as far as social media or attend? Like, what can they expect from the Pasadena iteration?
I would just say it's so much more than an anime convention. We're going to have just basically there's something for everyone. It's not just it's called Anime Pasadena, but we're going to have music, activities, gaming tournaments. We're taking over more and more of Pasadena. And tons of celebrities. Like, it's really just not one thing. And I think that's what Nerdbot does so well with these conventions, because like, let's say like, okay, I saw the exhibit hall, met my celebrity I want to meet. Where to? Oh, the karaoke lounge, or let's go to video games or go see live music. So it's going to be just options is basically what I saw at the Riverside one, you guys had a carnival as well. Yeah, that was crazy. That's crazy. I didn't get a chance to check it out, but I saw it and I was like, never seen a convention do that. All right, cool. Yeah, I
even messaged you about it. I was gonna try to go. I had plans that week, and unfortunately, and I couldn't move things around. And I was this close to being able to make it on Saturday, and it just didn't pan out, unfortunately, man. So I'm gonna try to see if I can make it to the Pasadena one. The Riverside one's a little closer for me. I'm kind of in the area. Okay. But I really wanted to go. But I also saw that the Power for the Riverside one shut down for like about an hour or so. Is that what it was?
Yeah, and let me just say, for Anime Pasadena, I do the press and pro approvals, so you're in. Just want to let you know. So
Oh, thank you, man. Thank you, man. I appreciate that. I appreciate that.
I'll put your name on there. No worries.
Thank you, dude. Thank you.
But it wasn't just us. It was half of the Riverside city lost power.
Oh, okay. So it was like a city thing. It wasn't just the convention.
No, and like we were like, are we partying too hard or what happened? And,
Yeah.
you know, it was unfortunate, but man, we bounced back real quick.
Yeah.
And, everyone on the team, we didn't really know how serious it was or how not serious it was. So everyone's like kicking us out, and I was like, it'll be back on. Then everyone's like, we got to get out of here. And then sure enough, 1 hour later, we're back in. And I was like, we could have like kept it going. But yeah, I think it's a matter of reaction, and we had really, really good reaction. And I honestly went over to the karaoke lounge, and we were just drinking with our flashlights, our selfie flashlights.
Oh, nice.
So I was vibing. And then I
That's so cool.
Walking. It's like, Colin, we got the lights back on. I was like, man, I was still having fun. So
yeah, that's awesome, man. For everybody that wants to stay up to date, make sure you're following anime.riverside as well as Anime Pasadena on Instagram to stay up to date and get everything past, present, and future for these conventions. And I'm going to do everything I possibly can. I should be able to be there November around those dates. That's also around my birthday as well.
Mine
so that'd be cool.
When's your birthday?
Oh, really? November 4th. It's a little bit before it. When's your birthday?
Mine's 21st, so it'll be.
Oh, no, you're like right after it, dude. That's awesome, man.
It'll be my birthday weekend, though. I'll save it.
Oh, yeah, that's gonna be cool, dude. I'm definitely gonna do everything I can to make it. I'll keep you updated, but it should be fine. I don't think I have anything going on. That's also like around like the holidays and everything, so things are kind of winding down. I should be fine.
We're live here at Anime Riverside. I've been Colin Bass, the marketing dude, the dude's face that you're probably sick of. I'm here on the main stage. Something's about to happen. It is the biggest Naruto cast panel ever. Let me show you who's here. Here we go.
I'm a big superhero fan, both Marvel and DC, as many viewers and supporters of this show are. So I gotta touch on it for the people that tune in. I gotta touch on the superhero stuff, man. And some may know and some may not, but almost about 5 years ago now, over the course of time, over on Nerdbot Studios YouTube channel, you guys put out 2 seasons of a series centered around Reverse Flash, entitled Reverse Flash Origins.
Seem a little off today. You all right?
Yeah, I'm just distracted.
Listen, man, I know what you're going through. These powers don't just change your body, it changes everything around you. I know you got questions running through your head at light speed, but just know that if you need anyone to talk to, you can talk to me, you can trust me.
I don't think you'd understand.
All right, let me start. My name is Barry Allen. I'm the fastest man alive. Maybe not for long.
My name is Eobard Thawne, and I'm from the future.
You star as Eobard, Reverse Flash, in the series yourself, but you also wrote for the series. And something that I see a lot of DC fans, Flash fans, say is that they want more Reverse Flash. I see this all the time, as well as more story from Reverse Flash. And it's something that I think that you guys accomplished with Reverse Flash Origins. But why Reverse Flash for you? What brought you to want to write and star in such a project, especially an origin story?
It was really a matter of what I haven't seen. And I thought it'd be really interesting if we went like the Anakin Skywalker / Lex Luthor route from Smallville, where like this guy wasn't just, came out the womb evil. Different misunderstandings or happenstances or different things happened to him that led him down that path. And I thought it'd be really interesting to dive into that because at the time, the Flash show hadn't really shown much. And the comics have I did all my research, read comics, read the wikis, watched videos. All of them have like different versions and nothing was really concrete. You could always blame the multiverse or timelines or whatever you want.
Yeah.
And I was like, man, wouldn't it be interesting if this guy's like, the Flash is my hero, which is, one of the versions. And I'm going to try to be like him. But then it becomes one of those things where like, all right, the Flash doesn't kill. And because he didn't kill, the love of my life is dead. That kind of thing. So I thought it'd be really interesting to make a more like sympathetic character and you see him become more evil and evil each episode. And as the show went on, it was, I would not to, be cocky or anything, but it's Nerdbot's first hit. More people got involved. The stats went up and I just kept kind of pushing the envelope each episode. And I think it was just something, one, I wanted to see, and I loved the whole kind of anti-hero, anti-villain. This bad stuff is why they're evil.
Yes.
This lean,
yes.
Really,
because everybody has a backstory. Exactly. Everybody has a backstory. They even look at this may not be the best example, but for Marvel, even Thanos, you know, and they did kind of touch on why he's doing what he's doing, and he has a backstory. I kind of do dig that aspect of things too, because they're not always, like you said, sometimes they're not always just evil right out the bat. There's something that made them the way that they are. You know, just like you mentioned with Anakin, Darth Vader, Anakin, all that. It makes sense. And I really dig that aspect of it, man. Even with it being out for a while, Reverse Flash Origins, I still don't want to give too many spoilers. I know it's been out for a while, but aside from Reverse Flash, the Flash himself, there's appearances by so many DC characters, Zoom, Killer Frost, among so many more, actually, including some big surprises and some highly respected fan favorites that just have to appear in a story like this, I would think, you know? Did you always have in mind such a fulfilling cast, all these appearances, or was that something that developed more as production continued? And feel free to talk about whatever characters you want to talk about. It's your project. I just didn't want to be the one to spoil it in case people haven't seen it.
Yeah, I think that I got braver and braver as we made more episodes. You can see episodes 1, 2, and 3. We played it pretty safe. At the end of 3, we really played with time travel for the first time. Where, you know, Jane meets the Eobard you've been watching for 3 episodes, but she dealt with something from a super evil, messed up Eobard. And that's when and people really liked it. And memes were being made, and the clip was being uploaded. And I was like, I need to believe in myself. I never really have written something that had so many views, so I need to believe in myself. And then that's when I went crazy. I'll name some: Batman Beyond, Aqua Girl, Kid Flash. Like we went all over the place, and there's a lot of again, what would I want to see? Where's live action Batman Beyond? All right, I'll do it. You know, that kind of thing. So I think I just got braver and braver. But no, I had no idea. There's the thing that I've learned is you write your first episode hoping that it turns into something, but never expecting it. So I wrote it going, I hope this lands, and it did. So as we got more people involved, suits, masks, you know, all these different things, I just got braver and braver. And then a new VFX artist came in that can do this. So we started just getting bigger and bigger and bigger. And then by season 2, Ep 2, I just had like a crazy cast all suited up head to toe. And I was like, this is nuts. And then unfortunately, I think the hype on Flash died by then, which is just the reality because the show was going downhill. But then there was this crazy, sorry, a little sidetrack. There's this crazy hashtag Save RFO thing came out of nowhere years later after I was like mid Power Rangers and Ninja Turtles and all my other stuff I'm doing. Then I was like, all right, we should finish this, but there's no way I'm bringing everyone back. So I found a way for us to wrap this up in a way that Flash fans will dig and also give the finale that we need without having to bring everyone back. And that's coming soon. It's all in post-production.
And that was going to be my next question, because I know there was a teaser for the finale, but there hasn't been anything officially released for it yet. So when can people expect that? Do you have just a broad estimate on when that could occur?
To give you an idea, I think I'm seeing the final cut this week. So it's going to come.
Nice.
Yeah. It's been a lot of like stuff in the making. And then I kept kind of going, man, we need one more scene. Like, and I'd add on in a way like, I don't want to spoil anything, but I had to write around our limitations, which is what we all do without a multi-million-dollar budget. Yeah. So I wrote around it and then figured out how to properly end this. I was like, we can do this and like, you know, put a bow on it, because that's basically what happens in the web series world. If it doesn't do well, you're not going to do another episode, at least in my experience. Yeah. Now that we're here, it's like, finally, we're going to put a bow on this thing and go, thank you guys for all the support. Here's your ending that you deserve.
Dude, I can't wait for it. And I believe it's season 2, episode 1 that just opens up with a bang. If it's what I think if I'm correct on the episode, that one just opens up with a bang. And I was so stoked when I was watching that one. This series is clearly a fan favorite, just like you said, as it's racked up something around, I think collectively like 1.5 million views across all the episodes, if my math was correct there. And Reverse Flash Origins is available on YouTube at Nerdbot Studios, and I highly suggest that everybody tunes in. It's definitely it's a fan service for sure. Keeping with superhero talk for a moment. you're scheduled to be a part of what sounds like an amazing X-Men fan series portraying Scott Summers, aka Cyclops, in a storyline based on the 90s X-Men series and comics, which is what I grew up on, and a lot of people that are tuning in right now probably grew up on. Jesus, we are getting old. Quote, after mutants are blamed for a terrorist attack, human-mutant relations are at an all-time boiling point. On one side are those who view themselves superior to humans and thus their rightful rulers. On the other side, the X-Men will go all out to obtain a world where both can coexist peacefully. Tell me a little bit about your involvement in this series, man. You're set to portray Cyclops, like I said, a leader, so I would only assume you'd be playing a prominent role in the series. What attracted you most to playing this part?
Well, I'm a little skeptical when it comes to fan casting, because there's a lot of fan casting stuff that goes up that just never happens. When Evan reached out to me, I was like, yeah, okay, whatever, dude. And then he was a doer. He did this Wolverine short with Donnie Francis, who's in his show. And I watched it and I was like, this guy made this happen and he's not even there. You know what I mean? Like, this guy's like going to do this show no matter what. And if I say no, he'll find another Scott and he'll get it done. And so I was like, listen, man, if you do want me to do this, we got to hop on it and prove that we're going to make this content. Like, let's do a Cyclops short. It could just be me, a cameraman, one VFX thing. Let's prove that we are doers, you know, because I saw that he was a doer. And so I guess I've always wanted to play Cyclops. He's my favorite X-Men. They've always done him dirty in live action. And Evan was just like on board right away. He and I collaborated on like down to what to wear, like my stance. He wrote the script. Like, he let me improv some stuff. And he just really, he and I really understood. We not understood, but we like met on the grounds of where we want this Cyclops character to be. Not some like pining, like, oh, Wolverine and Jean Grey. Like, no. And my optic blasts are just one dope thing about me. I'm a badass.
Yes.
So when he was just like, yes, do it, gave us a budget. I got it done as soon as possible. And then he also was listening to me when it came to marketing stuff, because a lot of people think they know best. And even I do this every day. I don't think I know best. I'm still learning. And he was just really grateful. And we did lives together. And I in the lives, I was like, the only way I'll be Cyclops is with your help, you know, like.
Exactly. Because this is also, it's not a Crimson Vision or Nerdbot production, right?
No.
Which is something you're very synonymous with and do all. I mean, you own Crimson Vision and you're a producer, or you're a producer at Nerdbot, right?
Yeah. My title's kind of weird because I do a lot there. It's called creative director.
Creative director. That's what I saw. Producer, and then I've seen creative director. I wasn't sure 100%. So, but this X-Men one is actually not from any of your production companies that you're a part of. So this is just something that you're starring in.
Yeah. So Evan just, he got inspired, just like, you know, we get inspired to do things, and just never gave up. And I respect the hell out of it. And so it's just hard because he's doing it from across the country, but I still believe in him. And if he raises the money, it's going to get done. And for now, it's just like, I saw something in it where, man, I wish I had some help when I was first starting out. And Evan's older than me, but he's just starting to get into this whole filmmaking thing. He's an actor, don't get me wrong. I know he's acted, but showrunner and everything it's tough. So I'm doing what I can to help him. But also, I love being Cyclops. It was awesome. Yeah. So it was a lot of different things. I saw Evan just was like, I'm gonna do this no matter what, which is kind of my perspective on things. He met me on where I see Cyclops, and we also got 2 shorts done from across the entire country. So.
Which is the Cyclops stand-up short is what you're referencing. And you can find that on the Marvel's X-Men Children of Adam YouTube channel right now. It's really cool. And the visual effects for it are really cool as well. I'm not going to spoil anything else. So you did have the opportunity to kind of get into the character a bit, get a feel for the shooting and what future shooting may be like. But how did it feel becoming Cyclops? I'm sure you want to stay true to the character, but kind of add your own uniqueness to it. Is there anything that you did for that short or that you plan to do to delve into the character and bring it to life?
You know, it was a big monologue. So during my monologue, I tried to, like, not to get like too artsy fartsy, but bear with me. Like the stand up thing, I imagined my character would be walking up, right, to do like a parallel with the stand up thing. Then my dialogue, I tried to amp up my voice really slowly as we went, and I switched some words out and stuff. Nothing too crazy, but the way I see it is like Cyclops as a leader has to keep his cool despite everything going on. But then this is like in his head, and he's just like, man, all these things going on. This is where I started from. And then at the very end, boom. And
yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
I had to like release my energy. And like at the very end, I said that one line where is how I plan on talking as Cyclops. When I'm calling out orders. If again, and I don't want to be negative, but if it happens, that's where I want to be is at the end of my
right. Right. I hope it does happen, man, because it's really awesome. You said that Cyclops is one of your favorite X-Men. Let's just do it real quick. Who's your top favorite X-Men? Can you narrow it down to 3 and 5?
Yeah.
3 or 5.
So I've always loved Cyclops. I'm a sucker for leaders, and I think it's like I tried really hard. I remember this story I like telling is I'd cry when I didn't have the red sorry piece because I thought that was like the leader side piece. So I always loved Cyclops, and I always thought that he was so much cooler than the shows give him credit for. Then I really love Nightcrawler because in the video games, he was the one that was closest to super speed. And I love super speed.
Yes.
And
love
then,
it.
I always thought Colossus was awesome because
Colossus is awesome, dude.
he's organic metal, right? So unless I'm mistaken, I remember Magneto couldn't control him because he's organic metal. And I always love that. And again, it was a video game based, the side scrolling one. He'd go, oh, and make a big like explosion.
Yeah.
So those are probably my top 3.
I love that, man. That's a great list. Make sure you follow X-Men Children of Adam Film on Instagram to stay up to date. Subscribe on YouTube as well so you can catch any news and updates of when that is expected to launch. Couple episodes ago, I had Corruption Cosplay on the show, better known as his real name is, I guess he's better known as Corruption Cosplay, but his real name is Jake, and he's a great guy. I've had the pleasure of working with him as well for a Batman cosplay shoot that we did. During his episode, we did touch on his work in Shattered Past, but as well as his role as General Grievous in Nerdbot Studios' Qui-Gon Legends. Oh man, listen, Colin, this project really spoke to me, dude. In my personal opinion, depending on what precisely in the Star Wars lore that you're tackling, a Star Wars series can be a little bit more on the difficult side to pull off, in my opinion. I mean, it depends. Like if you're trying to do space travel or different planets or, and the way that they look, inclusion of different species, if so, the visual effects and all that. But I have to say, you guys nailed this.
Thank you.
You really nailed this. And I mean that, man. Like, I don't know what I was going into it not really expecting anything at all. I don't know what I was expecting. But when I watched it, I was like, oh, wow. Like, this is more than I thought it was going to be. Like, I really enjoyed it. You did some voice acting in episode 1. You're also credited as Random Jedi. But what I want to highlight is, once again, you're a writer on the project. Was this your brainchild, or were you approached and brought on to write for this project?
So it's a funny story. I was up at Big Bear, and I got a call from Elvin, my boss.
Right.
He was like, hey, man, I want to do a Qui-Gon series. I was like, ha, ha. All right, later. I didn't take him seriously. Yeah. And then he calls me back. He's like, no, I'm serious. Like, I want to do a Qui-Gon thing with Alex Drastel as young Qui-Gon. And I go, I don't want to do it. And then he was like, come on, man, I need you to do it. And I was like, how about this? I'm going to watch episode 1. And if any ideas spark up, then I'll help you out. And again, help you out. I didn't know how involved I was going to be. And again, it was like, do you have to imagine I worked Star Wars 5 days a week and then some for 6 years. So I lost my love for Star Wars. I grew up with Star Wars.
It happens,
It became a job and a painful job at that.
Right.
So I was pretty anti-Star Wars. And I watched episode 1. I was like, man, there's so many cool things we could do with Qui-Gon and him like kind of sensing something's up and him not following the rules and all these different things. And young Obi-Wan, like, so I call Elvin back. And I was like, dude, I think I got something, And then Elvin's like, hey, could you be a Jedi in it? And I was like, yeah, I'll be like an unnamed Jedi that dies in the first episode because there's no illusion. Like I see comments like Colin K. Bass again. I'm in too much stuff, but I love it. So I was more like, dude, I'll help you out. And, I'll do like one cool fight scene, get stabbed, and that's it. That's why no one ever heard my Jedi. And then we started going, and I started writing episode 1. I started really believing in the project and like diving into the history of Qui-Gon. And so, no, it wasn't my brainchild, and it was actually kind of pushed on me. But once I started writing it, I was reading like every single wiki, watching every video, trying to match up the years and how old they should and who I can bring in. And then I got really, really excited because, another untold story. And then one thing led to another. I'm going to skip this part, but this amazing stunt actor, Selwyn, took over my role. And this dude's doing front flips and flying around just better than I could ever do. So I totally accept it and respect that I got replaced, and I was like part of the process. And I'm so glad it happened. And so yeah, it was not my brainchild, but when I started writing it, I was like, this is going to be awesome because I found my love for Star Wars again.
Right.
Qui-Gon Legends.
That's awesome, man. The Star Wars lore runs deep, and I know this series is set to dive deeper into the lore behind Qui-Gon. And Corruption also discussed with me that it's a pre-cyborg Grievous that we'll be seeing here, and his story will be touched on as well. Did you or do you feel any pressure from Star Wars fans to present a solid project? Like, what's the goal moving forward for the series?
Yeah, of course. I feel pressure from all fans because I am a fan. You know, I don't think I would write something that I'm not into.
Right.
Unless I don't know, a studio picks me up and they like my style. Then I do a bunch of research and become.
I'm diving in. I got this.
Yeah. I'm like, now I love My Little Pony or something.
Exactly.
So, I felt a lot of pressure, and I really wanted it to. I watched a bunch of different Star Wars fan films that had Qui-Gon in it. Yeah. I always do my research. So yeah, I felt a lot of pressure. And then for the series, at the end of the day, it's like we love doing it, but there's no real fiscal reason to do it unless we get those views and different opportunities and different perks to it. Because otherwise you're doing it and no one's watching it. And I did that for years and just never got anywhere. But I never gave up, and that led to where I am now.
Exactly.
So the idea right now is to get those views so that we can legitimize this series and go back to Nerdbot and be like, let's do episode 2.
Right.
So that's the idea right now is get the views up on Ep 1, then dive into episode 2. And I've got a lot of ideas. So do our showrunners. So do our actors. Like, it's just telling untold stories is our goal.
Even the most powerful solar flares could never reach Earth's surface. But these were no ordinary solar flares. Our sun was dying. It was calling out for help. And that call changed humanity forever.
I asked you about pressure from fans because when working on an already established project, kind of just like you said, in any caliber, there's an expectation almost of what it should be from people in their minds. And there's certain standards to uphold, if you will, as well. But with original works, you definitely have much more freedom to present something unique if you want and hope that it resonates with the people that are watching it, which is along the lines of something that I've heard you discuss before in previous interviews yourself. With that being said, tell me and anyone tuning in about your original series that you created, Solaris Evolution.
Solaris was a superhero I created in like middle school. And
it goes way back. That's so cool.
Back. I have a folder of just really bad drawings and bad handwriting of my own original universe that I thought I was going to create. And Solaris was a character that I created. I always thought the sun was so interesting. I always thought it'd be really interesting to have like superpowers, but they're all based around one thing, not just every possible power ever. So Solaris was something I had in my back pocket, but we didn't really have the star power or the studio or whatever to do it. Then one day during COVID, William Schufelt, the Red Ninja Steel Ranger, one of my best friends, we were up in Big Bear and we were having some tequila in the jacuzzi, just vibing. And he was like, do you ever like want to do something original? I was like, I got one. And then I started, I told him the ending of Solaris, then pitched him the show. And originally I wrote it for me being Solaris, but then I looked at this professional actor with a six-pack in front of me, and I'm like, man, you can be Solaris. I pitched him that, and then he was like, dude, I'm so down. That sounds awesome. So then I pitched it to Nerdbot, and I pitched it the same way, the ending first, and then brought it back. And they're like,
that's interesting.
What do you need from us? And then I was like, I don't know. I didn't think you were going to say yes.
I haven't thought this far. I didn't think it was going to happen.
Yeah. And so we got William Shefeld on board. Obviously, I was on board, and Nerdbot was on board. And then I started reaching out to basically actors and actresses that I wanted to work with. King Vader was a big one we landed because both Will and I had worked with him on some of his stuff. And then these two actresses that I didn't really know how to bring them into superhero stuff. But if I bring them to original content, they can be whatever we want them to be.
Right.
And then it just kind of kept getting like signs from the universe, I guess, where this is working. It was available on the same day. Things kept working out. VFX artists, like all these different things. And when
everything's just lining up.
Exactly. And I was like, you know what? This could really be something. And so we filmed the episode over a couple months. And then the first episode came out. And for an original series, it did well. And we were really excited. We made a comic book. We were like, we're ready to dive into F2. Then, unfortunately, Will moved across the country and things kind of got scrambled. We have a lot of F2 filmed already, so I just got to figure out how to do it. But anyways, long answer for a short question.
No, it's fine.
Doing original content is awesome. I don't feel pressure, but you still want people to see it. So I was really lucky to have, these superstars in my world in the show. And Solaris was just like an idea I had as a kid. And I'm watching Will there getting powered up by the sun. And I'm just like, this is so cool. And just
watching your middle school situation come to life. The kid in you is like, oh, dude, this is happening.
Oh, dude, don't get me started on Ninja Turtles. I'm like,
I know, right? I bet, dude. I bet. So episode 1 of Solaris is out right now. And you said you've got almost all of episode 2 shot or all of it shot?
Well, it's complicated because we're going to do kind of a brand shift, and we haven't really announced it yet. But Will being across the country, we got to be realistic. It's not likely we're going to have it focused on him. So we're going to do a little brand shift and focus on King Vader's character, which was a fan favorite.
Oh, okay.
And it'll be kind of a misguided, delusional hero villain guy.
Right.
It's not over, is what I'm saying.
No, good. Thank God. I really enjoyed it. Do you have like a future planned out for it since you, had it in middle school all this time? How far does it go, the story? Do you just have ideas or do you have it mapped out?
I did a Bible. It's like for those who don't know, having a show Bible is like all the details, all the names, the characters, character traits, where things are going. I had a Bible for 4 episodes, and I thought this was when like everyone was kind of free and we all were like on unemployment or working part-time or something. So that Bible went out the window when the world opened back up, which is wrong. But now when it comes to Solaris Extinction, which is going to be the new one, I don't really know about it because I am writing it. It is Vader-led, and I have the first episode mapped out. But here's the thing with these shows is you release one episode and so many people get involved or we get new props or new suits or new VFX or all these things. So I don't like to write too far ahead. I do
right. Makes sense.
Next part mapped out.
Nice, man. This series is amazing. It really is thus far. I'm excited to see where it goes and how it continues alongside the Qui-Gon series. I can't wait to see more of that. I hope that happens as well. Both of these are available on Nerdbot's YouTube channel right now. I suggest you go watch them if you have not. Before we start wrapping up in our last little conversation here, I think it's a good time to break up the monotony and let's get into this week's Cosplay of the Week. Yes. And this week's Cosplay of the Week is none other than East Coast Power Rangers. And I'm throwing it up on the screen right about now. Boom. Look at this, man. This is absolutely awesome. This is East Coast Power Rangers, Shelly Santiago. Some of you may recognize her. She has been a guest on the show before. She is a part of the Power Rangers Mortal Kombat crossover series, Combat in the Grid, who I've had the co-creators on and a couple cast members on the show before, so you may recognize her. She says that this cosplay was 2 years in the making. Now that we as fans have an open world to multiple universes and grids, I felt like it was my duty as Lady Green Ranger to create my own. This is Tommy, and it's Tommy with an I at the end. This is her version. This is her iteration, the female Tommy. She lists that the colors are green, black, and gold. The animal spirit is dragon. Last seen, unknown. She says Tommy is strong and loyal, yet struggles to find herself. After a vast past training and spiritual journey, she has risen, finding the dragon spirit within herself. And she gives a special thanks to her beautiful wife and says that she wouldn't be a ranger without her. That's awesome. Shelly, this is absolutely dope. The first photo that we're looking at here has a side by side of her in uniform and out of uniform. It's absolutely awesome. I love the like the dragon horns that are going across the top of the helmet there. I love that. Oh God, the emblem that you've got in the middle of the chest, it's perfect. The dragon scales that you see throughout the actual suit. The bracers are very dragon style. It's absolutely dope. I'm really digging this. And I do want to throw up a second photo, so I'll throw that up now. And this is a more front-facing photo, so you get to see a little bit more full body, and it's just her right in the cosplay. Once again, you get to see the horns a little bit more spread out. They've kind of like a trio going this way and then one going down the middle. It's absolutely dope, Shelly. I really dig this. Once again, you see the dragon scales and you see the gold, what would that be called? Like kind of like a choker on your arm, like an armband. There we go. Couldn't think of it. Drawing a blank there. Armband, absolutely dope with the gloves and everything. I really dig this. The morphin belt, it's absolutely cool. And the caption on this photo says, "No evil dooms us hopelessly except the evil we love and desire to continue in and make no effort to escape from." George Eliot. Shelly, this is absolutely awesome. And I just thought it was very fitting to include you as a cosplay of the week because right after this, we are going to be talking about some Power Rangers stuff, and you're a big Power Ranger fan, and I know from the episode that you were on that you are, Colin is an inspiration to you, and I just thought that this would be a nice little, you're the cosplay of the week. I've been wanting to feature you, Shelly, as a cosplay of the week. I just haven't said anything. I know you've been on the show. I know we talk. We kind of have a rapport going, but I don't ever want to spoil anything. Be like, okay, well, you're going to be the cosplay of the week on this episode. Like, it's not fun like that. It's got to be the surprise. It's got to be the attack element, you know? And I just thought that this was a perfect time to highlight this really cool cosplay that you created, and I love it. So the helmet design was by Lex_Santiago as well as Shelly herself. The shield design was by Shelly herself. The shield was handcrafted by Lex_Santiago. And then if you look at more pictures on her Instagram, she has a dragon dagger design that was designed by herself and crafted by Lex_Santiago as well. So everybody, please go follow East Coast Power Rangers on Instagram because Shelly, East Coast Power Rangers, your Lady Green Ranger. There we go. Drew a blank for a minute there. Your Lady Green Ranger for me and for Colin K. Bass is amazing. All right. Also, this week's episode is brought to you by Legacy Comics, a comic book company built to foster and maximize the impact of independent creatives. Legacy Comics is the brainchild of former NBC editor, the minds behind the game's author, voice actor, and creator of the Condry comic, Patrick Hickey Jr., alongside comic book artist, writer, and podcaster John Svedesi. Legacy Comics originally had a Kickstarter, now closed, that reached its goal in less than 5 hours. The comics imprint will be bringing you readings and arts in the form of Athos, a superhero hailing from a race of legendary ancients who created mankind. The Job, a wrestler who will do what it takes to get his big break. Kroom, based on the indie game of the same name, a planet decimated by an invading alien force. The Legend of the Night Owl, a mother and son duo out to clean up Brooklyn with fists and fury. And of course, Condry, a homeless vagabond seeking revenge for his father's untimely passing at the hands of the Lopez gang. You can pre-order books today at legacycomics.com, and that's Legacy Comics, comics with an X at the end. And make sure to follow on IG and stay up to date at legacy_comics. All right, Colin, before we get out of here, man, I know you talk about it in every interview and in every appearance, but you know we got to talk about some Power Ranger stuff.
Oh yeah,
we have to talk about it. We have to do it, you know? But I did want to tell, I know some people are probably like watching this episode going, where's the Power Ranger stuff? You know, I wanted to do something a little bit different. You know, I wanted to talk about all of your other stuff that you have going on as well. You got your hands full of several different projects on several different fandoms, from acting to producing to writing. I mean, even the stuff with the convention. And I felt like, you know what, especially coming off the heels of the convention and then with Anime Pasadena coming in November, member. I just felt like, I got to talk to this guy about like everything that he's got going on, as much as I can cram in to hopefully about an hour, And but let's get into the Power Ranger talk, dude. From First Ninja to Rise of the Ninja to Shattered Past to Bloodline of the Grid, you have and are a part of this amazing Power Rangers extended universe. And for those not familiar with what the PREU is, why don't you go ahead and tell them, fill them in on all the pertinent information that they need to know. If someone was tuning in for the first time, what would they need to know about the Power Rangers extended universe? And thereafter, where do you think they should start on watching your projects?
Real quick, man, I just want to say you are amazing. You're an amazing interviewer.
Thank you, dude.
Yes.
Thank you, man.
We got to get the same con together, and we got to do.
Yes, dude. I'd love that, man.
Yeah,
I'd love it, dude.
You're so awesome. I'm like watching the show, and I'm like, oh wait, I'm in the show. Oh, okay.
Thank you, man. That's a huge compliment. I appreciate that, man.
Awesome.
I really do. Thank you.
One more, and then I'll answer your question. I watched your clip with Jake, and I was like, "Oh yeah, who is this guy? I want to talk to this guy." And I was like,
"Oh, dude, thank you."
So you're so great, man. I just want to give you.
Thank you, man. I really appreciate that, dude. I really do. Thank you so much.
You're OC, right?
Yeah, I am. Yeah.
So, sorry, a little bit of business. The Nerdbot Studios in Baldwin Park. We gotta figure out something like you moderating a live stream or something, because you are.
Let's do it, man. Thank you, dude. Let's do it. Like I said, I'm used to driving. I'm used to going all over the place. I've lived in various places around California. I've lived all the way out in Corona, right by Riverside. That's why I said I was very familiar with that area in a DM. People are probably like, he never said that. When did he say that? In a DM. It was a DM between me and Colin. I'm very familiar with that area. I'm familiar with LA. I've South Bay area, the South Bay area of LA as well.
Not really. I'm San Diego, honestly. So I just dip up to work.
Oh yeah, and I'm not too familiar with San Diego, but I have an uncle and a cousin that live out that way, so I go out there every now and then just to hang out with them. But I don't really know the San Diego area like that. But I know all the surrounding areas very well, and I drive all the time, all over the place, so it's no big deal for me. I'm totally down. I would be totally down, man.
Let's work together, man. This has been.
Let's do it, man. Let's do it, man.
To the interview.
People are watching like, whoa, what the hell's going on?
Yeah, it's a friendship and business relationship.
They're just having a whole conversation. Forget us.
The marketing manager in me was like, whoa.
Yeah, no worries, man. They're seeing the magic happen live in the moment.
So the Power Rangers Extended Universe, I like to call it a happy accident, because I was at Power Rangers Morphicon 2018. I went to the fan film competition panel, and I watched the first episode of Unworthy, and I was like, I don't know what I'm going to do, but I want to do something like that. Like that reignited my love for Power Rangers. There's 30 years worth of content now, like all these different things. I was like, but there's so much cool stuff besides the spandex and the rubber monsters. There's powers, there's elements, there's ninjas, samurais, And so I'm at Morphicon, and my jaw just dropped. Unworthy blew my mind. Jordan is brilliant and so kind and so humble. And then I'm walking out, and I remember thinking, like, Ninja Storm. We don't really know much about the stuff outside of Power Rangers. That's ninjas, elements, how was the school founded, all these things. And then I see this guy, his name is Danny, one of my friends and actors, and he's in the Ninja Storm training suit. And I didn't know what I was going to do. I just knew, I was like, that's a good idea. We could all have those suits, and we wouldn't have to be in spandex and helmets.
Right.
And cost effective too, right? So I go up to him. I was like, hey man, I have this crazy idea. Ninja Storm prequel. He goes, I'm down. Do you want a picture? And I go, no. I want to ask you. So I'm there at the convention, and we went to like this after party, and I'm just typing down ideas of how cool this could be, all the different elements, the origin of this, like who founded the Wind Ninja Academy. And then I'm in this party at a hotel room, and I go, hey guys, and it's a bunch of people I don't really know, but they're all in like Power Ranger gear. Yeah. What do you guys think about a Power Rangers fan film that's a prequel to Ninja Storm, about the Wind Ninja Academy, elements, ninjas, all this stuff? And they're like, yeah, we love it. And I was like, okay, that's a good sign. And then First Ninja happened, and then we were going to go film. First Ninja came out, and it did well. So I was like, okay, Ep 2. But then when we went to go do Ep 2, and we were doing like panels and premieres, and we got sponsorships and all this different stuff. So I was like, this is going to be good. After being Reverse Flash for years, I really like diving into Power Rangers. And we were supposed to go up to Big Bear to film this. This is the story that all the Power Ranger nerds, as myself, love. Go film a Ninja Storm themed episode, right? We were literally stormed out of going up to film Big Bear. There's a big storm. But we had a paid gig from this clothing company to do something Power Rangers and plug them at the end. And so I'm like looking around my room and I was like, we got to get this done. It's like, we got to show that we're doing it. Otherwise we're going to lose the sponsorship. And then I come up with the idea, like, what if the Omega Ranger was never really shown very much? I guess we'll do another Power Ranger short. We'll see how it goes. We'll call it F-Zero. We don't have to do anything if it flops, but we get the job done, right? F-Zero does really well and Shattered Past is born. And I'm like,
yes,
I guess we'll do another episode of this. And then so we do Shattered Past, and all these like happy accidents happen with Mark, our Psycho Green, Date, our Time Force Red, and then I did it for him not to be Wes Collins, for him to be Sky Tate's dad. So all these things are just like landing in my lap, and I'm going, okay, we'll do this. And the universe kept rewarding me with things. Then I meet William Schufelt at a recording studio session with the guy that does our Shattered Past theme song. Shout out ATO Worldwide. And me,
it's great.
Hit it off. I don't know how to explain it. Like he was just he's just this buff, handsome dude rapping, and I was like, "What's the craziest BTS story you'd never tell?" And we go over and he's like telling me this crazy story. And bonded, and then we met up just one-on-one. And he was like, "Hey man, I'm kind of down to like do something with what you're doing, but I don't want it to be like kiddie, and I want Brody to be a badass." And I was like, "Dude, you need to be like a Luke Skywalker, and you need a Yoda. Who's our Yoda?" And I go, Ninjor. And then so Ninja was created because Will wanted his own thing, and so did I. Then I'm 3 Power Rangers things in. And I'm like, this is too much. I need to just stop. I'm like, it was great. I'm playing like 2 different characters in 3 shows.
Yeah.
DJ Rivers are Red Ranger and Cyclone Samurai from all 3 shows. It's like, hey, dude, Christopher Cameron Lee, Andros, has had this idea for like an in-space sequel. He's got all these real Rangers on board. We want you to play the future version of Sam from Shattered Past. How am I going to say no to that?
Yeah, exactly.
This was right about when Nerdbot absorbed Crimson Vision, mine and Sean's YouTube channel. So then all of a sudden I'm in 4 different Power Ranger shows. And I'm like, why don't we market this as one big thing?
Right.
Connect everything. And like each, it can be like the Marvel TV shows and movies. Where cameos, you know? Like cameos were so much fun to write. And I'm in charge of 3 of them. DJ's in charge of Bloodline, but we're all dipping in like mixing characters. And I go, we need like a dope name for this. Yeah. And the ego in me was like Crimson Verse, because we started it. You know? And then I was like, everyone will hate you if you call it the And I go, okay, let me think. And so I come up with the Power Rangers Extended Universe. And everyone just like gets hyped. We get these big promos. We're doing cons and premieres, and we have like, sorry, my gardener's going.
No worries.
Sorry. And then so it became this big like cross-platform thing. We had the ability to make these shorts and these videos with real Rangers and fan films, and like crossing over, and it just legitimizes the whole thing.
Yes.
So that is how it was.
And it's such like a fan service too, when you start seeing like other people appear and other ones, you're like, oh, it gets people hyped. They're, oh man, like that's, you know, just same way you, like you said with the Marvel stuff, and you see that and you're like, oh, that's connected to, oh, and now I know why that, you know, and it's all connected. It's like, it gets people interacting and it gets them even more hyped up. And I love that aspect of it.
Yes. And it's tricky because you don't want to oversaturate. Like you don't want to see Catherine Sutherland in all 4 shows, you know? So we have
right. Yeah. You got to find a balance with it though, too.
Yeah. Anyways, the Extended Universe became this thing where like, yeah, we're going to tell the untold stories, but we're going to let these Rangers do what they want with these characters and like grow and, you know, break the Nickelodeon or Disney rules. Right. And so it really became this fun thing where we're kind of trying to catch them all, trying to get all these different Rangers. And then when Ranger Legacy showed up, we see these Rangers watching our shows on the big screen. And I just had this moment where I'm like, the people that I watched when I was growing up are now watching what we make now. And it's just,
dude, that's so cool. That must be such an amazing feeling. Like really, it really must be. Yeah. Like, that's awesome.
I try not to think about it too much because I get a little choked up because
I bet.
Trying to do this in this industry, I have a lot of people going like, what are you doing, dude? Like give up.
Right.
Go work at Target or something. And I never stopped, and I never really stopped. And I have these moments where Do you like Digimon? If you don't know where it is.
I wasn't a big Digimon fan, no.
So I was in like...
I know a little bit, though.
So I was in like these 2 panels with actual Digimon actors, right? We did a Digimon short with like a CGI Agumon, and I wrote it, and I'm in it, of course. And crazy moment where I'm watching these people that I watched when I was a little kid growing up watch the Digimon content that I made, and I'm right here, leading it all. And I was just like, this is so cool. This is all work. This is all the hate and the naysayers and all these different people. Sorry, I'm rambling.
It shows that you're doing something right, though.
Right.
Like it's resonating. And no matter what industry you're in any kind of thing, but especially any sort of like creative or content creation, there's always going to be people that are, just hating on a situation, or trolls, if you will. And especially in this day and age where it's like we're all social media, it's all online. There's a lot of keyboard warriors that probably wouldn't say these things to your face. You know what I mean? Yeah. And it's very easy, though, too. It's very easy. It's unfortunate almost, and now I'm kind of rambling and I don't want to go too deep into it, but it's unfortunate almost how we do live in this world where there are people out there that like they slam you for something if they don't like it. It's like, you cannot like it. Not everything is subjective. Not everything's going to be for you, but you can just kind of keep it moving if you don't like it. But there's people out there that it's like almost they want to hurt. It's like, let me tell you why I hate this and why everybody else should hate it and why I don't like you specifically. It's like, Jesus, it's not that serious. Like, it's not that personal. Why? You know what I mean? If this doesn't resonate with you, it doesn't resonate with you. So that sucks. I mean, that's super unfortunate. Do you, with situations like that, and with the fact that you have like people that you've looked up to with watching your stuff, whether it be the Digimon or the Power Rangers, do you ever like get nervous even more? Does that ever get in your head?
Yeah, I mean, I'm pretty good at like dipping out of the negative thoughts. I don't know if it's just my brain doesn't like go there, or if I'm really good at like avoiding it. But yeah, there's a lot of times where I doubt myself, right?
Right.
There's a lot of times where I doubt what I'm doing, and then there are moments where I'm like, I got to be doing something right, Yeah, so
definitely.
If there's one thing that I can do is like tell people to get out there and be creative, because I had everyone telling me not to do it.
Yes.
So I had everyone like, not everyone, I had a few believers, but a lot of people are just like, I wanted to get paid to be creative. I didn't need to be a superstar. I didn't need to be rich. I didn't need all these things that a lot of people assume. All I wanted to do was to get paid to be creative, and I wasn't going to give up until I had that. And now that I'm here, it just makes me want to work harder. But yeah, man, I doubt myself all the time. I get so nervous when I'm having people or the actual celebrities watch what we do. Yeah. But at the end of the day, dude, it's just, if I can do anything to get someone to go out there with their phone and film a fan film, dude, it's a big win for me, because I didn't have that. I had just lots of no's and why and what the F are you doing?
Exactly.
So, yeah, I get nervous. I doubt myself a lot, but it's just more along the lines of, there's one thing that I always like to reiterate. I know I'm stealing this from someone, but it's promote what you love and stop bashing what you hate. And I live by those. And that's why I go into a movie that everyone hates, and I'm just going to go, I had a good time. Or if I didn't like it, I'm probably going to stay quiet, or just talk privately about it. But there's a lot of these things that I've learned the hard way on, especially with a lot of eyes on me, without being cocky about it. Where
no, it is what it is. You have made a name for yourself, so you're more than welcome to to be that way. I mean, not be like cocky, like, hey, look at me, everybody, not like that. But I mean, you have clearly made a name for yourself and done something right. So it's perfectly fine.
So I've learned that if I don't like something, I'm going to try to find a positive, or I'm going to keep scrolling. That's basically it. And I get a lot of people sending me fan films or fan film ideas or whatever, and I just root them on, because I did not have that when I first started. Yeah. So it's more along the lines of, yes, I get nervous, but it's due to bring it all back, because we're that good at interviews. I fake it until I make it, with the convention stuff. I didn't know what the hell I was doing. I'm still learning now about, running or helping run a studio, leading the charge on all these shows. And if I show any signs of like, I can't do this anymore, or like, like, no, this isn't fun, but I lose my team. So I gotta really just pull through. And when there are good moments, just shine a light on it, basically.
Exactly. I know that you grew up in the 90s, much like myself. So I know that you were a Mighty Morphin fan, much like myself. And all the work that you've put in over the years, I mean, not just Power Rangers. I mean, everything has been a shining example of quality projects, man. Two-parter question here for you, though. One, why Power Rangers for you? What is it about Power Rangers that attracts you so? And then two, why do you believe that your Power Rangers work has resonated so much with fans that you and Power Rangers have kind of become so synonymous? Because when you think of Colin K. Bass, you do definitely think of Power Rangers. I mean, it at least stands out. So why Power Rangers for you, and why do you think that you've been so successful with it?
Great questions. I'd say Power Rangers for me, I just kind of found a lot of freedom with writing it, right? Because the way I see it, it is a kid's show, but there's so many cool elements to it that us as adults can develop. And I can only imagine the writers or the showrunners having to turn in these scripts and then them being like, no, you can't say dang, you know what I mean?
Right.
For me, I got a taste of how freeing it was to build on something that I loved. I loved Ninja Storm. And I was in 8th grade, like just falling in love with girls, and I'd secretly watch Power Rangers. So Ninja Storm will always be special to me because I was always like, Power Rangers. Then I was like, it's funny. They make fun of stuff, and I'm interested in stuff when they're not Power Rangers. So it's really cool that was the one that kind of brought me into it. But again, it like you said, it led to success, and it led to me being like, man, maybe I am a good actor. Maybe I am a good writer. And it just gave me more confidence to, maybe I can make it in this industry. So, and also the community was just really, really welcoming. Lots of know-it-alls. Do your research and like have defenses. The community was so much more welcoming than Flash fans. So much more.
Really?
Oh yeah, man. Flash fans were harsh.
That's crazy. I'm only one person, but I just, when I was watching like the Flash and everything, I just didn't feel any like negative. I mean, I'm not talking about comments. I'm just saying me watching it, like I just enjoyed it. Like I really enjoyed it. I felt very fan serviced, if you will. You know what I mean? So that's a new one for me. I didn't know that.
Yeah. Reverse Flash. We got some real mean comments, and dude, they were harsh. And the Power Rangers were like, I love Ninja Storm. What is this? And a lot of people thought it was legit, which was really cool.
Yeah.
Too. And reviews started popping up, and I was just like, this is nice. This is why we do it. Like we do. Yeah. I love writing and acting, but I also love being in that fandom with the people watching us. So that was a big part of it too. And then why do I think it was successful? I think we just did things that no one had done before. And that's like my whole, when I pitch something to Nerdbot, that's the pitch. No one's done this. And there are so many things, like as a 90s baby, we've never seen like a found footage style of Power Rangers or Ninja Turtles or all these different things.
Right.
And I really, that's kind of my angle when I go to Nerdbot and go, hey, we can do this and we're going to do well. So I think it's telling untold stories is always what I'm going to lean on. If the day comes where I have $1 million, I would love to tell stories that I make up. But when it comes to Power Rangers, it was just like, what do I want to see, and what do the fans want to see, and what do I want to build on? And then people latched on, and we did the best we could with what we got. Then we started bringing in real Rangers, and it's just like, we've seen them since 2001. This is great. It's like a big combination of things. But
so you're hitting the nostalgia too for those fans that have grew up on it or have stayed with it, or maybe they didn't even fully stay with it, and they missed some things here and there, but they tuned into what you're doing, and that moment resonates with them because it's something that they did grow up on, and now it's sparked all of that back again. So it's all of that, dude. I love that, man.
I have ascended. All of the Power Rangers will kneel before me.
Shattered Past. You did, correct me if I'm wrong, you did this like Patreon situation with patrons where they have a say in like the direction or the appearances that occur in Shattered Past. Like explain that for people that don't know what that is. What this unique take on Shattered Past with Patreon.
So Shattered Past, again, happy accident, but I found a way that we could include the fans, because everyone has a say, and you should do this, you should do that. And I was like, I would if we had the money. You
yeah.
So I had this idea, and this was my original pitch to Sean when we did Ep0 and it did well. I was like, what if we do the next episode and then we make it like a fan inclusion thing where if they pledge $5, they can tell us what season to go to. And then we will use that money to make that season happen. You know, I'm not paying rent with Shattered Past money, but I am buying a new suit so that we can have this.
Yes.
And I thought it was so cool because I wouldn't say half, maybe a quarter of the comments that come in right when we release an episode is, you should do this, you should do that. And I go, okay, we will. Pledge to the thing. Yeah. And also, like I was telling you, it's for the fans, by the fans, right? That's like my favorite thing about fan films is when you can tell people love this fandom. So I made it, and I say I because I pitched the idea, but it is a big team effort. I just have a habit of saying I. I thought that it'd be really cool to get budgets for the next episode, but also let the fans decide. And then I would write around what they would choose. And it's been so much fun.
That's a really cool take on it.
Thank you.
And it's an awesome way to involve everybody. Just like you said, if they're already in the comments so often, you know, whether it's a good thing or a bad thing, however they're saying it, you have an opportunity to actually be involved, you know? So if you really want to talk all this that you're talking, here, come over here and we can actually possibly make that happen. I think that's really cool.
With Sam being able to access all these different weapons to any season ever, and he uploads it and uses that weapon later. So I've got maybe 5 weapons locked and loaded in my morpher that we try to bring back each episode. And I really thought it was a cool thing to do and something that I've never seen before in a fan film.
Yeah, I've never seen it. I don't know. I have no idea if it's been done before, but when I first saw that, I was like, wow, that's really cool. That's a unique situation. I know that episode 5 of Shattered Past is the latest episode to premiere. And spoiler alert right now, for anybody that hasn't seen it, your last words on episode 5 were, I'm going to kill Lord Draken.
Yeah.
When can we expect to possibly see that happen? When is this? It's the finale, right? The next episode is the finale.
Yeah, it's the series finale. I wanted to wrap up Shattered Past, put a bow on it, and then if a future series happens, I have a plan for that. It's called Omega Force, but
nice.
I'm just not putting all my eggs in the basket because the world's changing, Nerdbot changing, but we'll see. So I'm having the patrons vote right now. Then when they vote, I'll work their season into the story. But man, I'm ready to film me and Draken scenes right now. You know?
I bet. That got me so hyped at the end when you said that. I was like, oh man, I can't wait to see this come together. This is going to be so awesome, dude. I mean, do you have I know you said you're waiting for them to vote, but after the voting and everything gets done, do you have a ballpark idea of when you guys would start filming?
Yeah, we have a little bit of break before Anime Pasadena, so probably this month. We'll get
nice.
But do you want to hear a little BTS about that last line?
Yeah.
So I have the episode all written out, and then I was on my way to Hawaii for a wedding, and I'm reading this episode, and we've already filmed a bunch of chunks, and I'm watching all these horrible things happen to Sam. His him, his love leaving him, SPD being all these different things, and I was like, man, I would kill Draken because this is all his fault, right? And then I go back and I watch Ep1, and he's like, I'm going to give him 2 choices. Either you go back and choose the path of becoming Tommy, or I'm going to kill him. And I forgot that I wrote that because I've done so much other stuff at once. And so I'm like, man, Sam doesn't care about him turning back to Tommy. He cares about just taking this guy out. And so when I was rereading, I'm like, Sammy's kind of losing. There's this scene where I'm just huffing and puffing. And originally it was going to be Landon Tate to calm me down. But PK and I had a weird bond after going against Draken last episode. So all these things are just constantly changing because of scheduling or writing or whatever. And I was like, man, Sam needs to go dark just for 1 second. And I put that line in last minute, came back from Hawaii, and we're reading the sides of it. And they're like, Sam wants to just kill him and not do the Power Ranger thing. And I was like, yeah, man, this is about everything he's been through. We never see it, but all before Shattered Past, he lost all the Power Rangers. And then the thing that was consistent was his team, SPD. He found a little bit of love with Rain. And all that's out the window too because of Draken. I'd be like, Draken.
Yes, exactly.
So it was a last minute rewrite that I really liked. I like
That's awesome. It resonated with me for sure. I was like, it got me hype, and it's such the perfect way to end that episode. It really is. You guys, if you're not caught up with Shattered Past, do it, and don't miss the finale. You can get all that on Crimson Vision Studios YouTube channel right now. Colin plays a future Sam from Shattered Past in Bloodline of the Grid. I want to round out this episode, Colin, with some Bloodline of the Grid talk, man. I saw you previously discussing Bloodline of the Grid, and you made a statement of how it's kind of Power Rangers meets Star Wars in a way, and I totally get that vibe. I actually heard you say that after I had already watched the first episode at the time, and I thought the exact same thing, actually. So, like, kind of that vibe of it, and I feel like that's a good thing in my opinion. That's the vibe that I got, and it's one of the things that actually kind of drew me in, next to the production quality as well. Talk to me a little bit about Bloodline of the Grid. It's a Power Rangers in space sequel.
Yeah. So I signed on without reading the script. I was like, Indra and me and the same scene? Yes. Like, the fanboy in me was just like, yeah, let's go. So it's an in-space sequel. There are some connections between Shattered Past and Bloodline, but we haven't really touched on them. And up to, you'll see a few digs at it, I guess you could say, where we don't completely ignore it. Like we ignore that Jackson and Sam look alike. We ignore that, but between Shattered Past and Bloodline. And I signed on without reading the script. And then when I got there, I met Chris, and Chris kind of brought up how like in space is basically Star Wars, if you like really break it down, all these different
right.
And I was like, okay, what's this about? And I didn't really know. And so we had a really long, hot, sunny day of filming. But at the end of it, I was just so happy to be a part of it. And there's a lot of Star Wars-esque things with like family lineage, which is why it's called Bloodline. But as I watched episode 2 for the first time at Ranger Legacy at a world premiere, my jaw was dropped. And I'm going to say this as the showrunner for 3 different episodes or 3 different seasons in the extended universe. Bloodline episode 2 is the best episode in the entire Power Rangers extended universe.
Wow. Wow, dude.
Bloodline is super different from our other shows, which I really respect. And then DJ and I are really good at communicating on why and how they're going to be different. I liked episode 1. I respected it, but I was always just like, Shattered Past got this. Come on. And DJ knows it. There's no secret here. And then I saw episode 2 and I turned to DJ and I was just like, this is the best episode of the extended universe. He was like,
dude, that's
crazy.
Awesome.
Yeah.
That is awesome, dude. With all the projects that you guys do, the quality just keeps getting better. The visual effects just keep getting better over time. Everything is a step up from the previous. What are you hoping to achieve with Bloodline of the Grid? Or, I mean, even any of your productions, whether it be writing, acting, or anything. I mean, what are you hoping to achieve moving forward? Like, what's the next step, the next goal? Like, how do you level up from here?
You know, I guess it would be the original series. We build a big enough fan base. Bad and the Sun really did it right. They did fan films for years, millions of views, and then they took what we love about Power Rangers and did Legend of the White Dragon, and they're killing it, right? So I don't know if that's the path I want to go, but I will always want to write and act. But my future really seems down the event marketing side of things, which I love too. I feel like I feel like I'm acting during these like lives and stuff with But
you're still doing something. You're still being creative in some sort of way. It's still content. You're still pushing something out.
Yeah. So I want to keep building it out. Like Nerdbot is this big umbrella, right? And the media side of it is just growing. And I really want to. I mean, I was there when it started. When Reverse Flash started, I was there, and I want to see that become something awesome, where we're doing different types of media with different teams and stuff. And we kind of have that with Bloodline, kind of have that with our other stuff. I just want to have like teams doing different things that we want to see, and it being monetizable. Is that
right? Yeah. No, I get you. Yeah.
I want it to like make sense why we're doing it. So original content seems like the most, but if I had a dream, it's that we become canon somehow in some way in Boom Comics, because that would be if the Omega Ranger takes his helmet off and he looks like me, I'll die happy, right?
That would be so cool, man. As far as Bloodline of the Grid, it's available to watch on Nerdbot Studios. If you haven't subscribed and tuned in by now, I don't know what you're doing, but do it after this episode, though. Do it after this. Do it after this. In just a few minutes here. You premiered episode 2 at Anime Riverside, but when can we expect it to drop on YouTube? Because if I'm not mistaken, it's not there, right?
Right. So this will be an exclusive for you. Episode 2 of Bloodline of the Grid will be available on July 5th on Nerdbot.
Nice. July 5th. Awesome, dude. I can't wait. Well, we are going to wrap up here, Colin. This has been an amazing time, man. This has been so awesome to chat with you and get all this insider information. And I hope that people watching right now, whether they're people that have been tuning in from the show, from things that I've built, or anybody that's tuning in from your fan base right now, I hope that maybe I gave you a little something different from Colin, maybe some things that you haven't heard from him, or even some information about like Reverse Flash or things that he hasn't talked about for a while, because I really enjoyed talking with you, man. You have your hands in so many different things. Everything that I've said here today, I mean all of it. It's not for entertainment purposes. I think you're a great dude. I think you're a great actor. I really do think you're a great writer. There's a lot of things that you're doing right now that are just resonating with me like crazy. And my top things that I really want to see is just me personally speaking from a fan standpoint here is I really do hope one of the couple things that I really want to see is I really do hope that the Qui-Gon Legends series takes off more. I really feel something with that. I really think you guys got an awesome thing. I can't wait to see the Shattered Past finale. That one's got me stoked. And Bloodline of the Grid is on the top of my list to see the future keep going as well. And that's no shade to anything else that you're working on. All of it is up there, but those are just my top right now that I'm really, really feeling. Colin, the spotlight is yours, man. Anything that you want to say before we get out of here? Anything that you have to say? Any shout outs, plugs, or anything that you can think of? The floor is yours.
First shout out is to you again. You're awesome.
Oh, thank you, man. Thank you.
This is great. We're going to work together. We're going to be friends. It's going to be awesome.
Awesome, dude. I appreciate that, man. I can't wait.
We'll figure something else out. But for now, I do have one idea in my head. I'll talk to you after because you are.
Okay.
Okay.
Thank you, man.
Plug in. So Shattered Past F5 came out not too long ago. Please go check that out. We have the original actor for the Magna Defender coming back, Russell Lawrence. And it's just a crazy episode, lots of time travel and ninjas and stuff like that. Bloodline of the Grid, episode 2 premieres July 5th on the Nerdbot Studios YouTube. Anime Pasadena, I will be there. We'll have some awesome panels, celebrity guests, more. November 19th and 20th at the Pasadena Convention Center. I will be at Power Rangers Morphicon. I'm sorry, I do not remember the dates on that, but if you Google it, you'll find it. We'll be there with the Power Rangers Extended Universe. One more thing I'd like to plug is we made our own original Power Ranger comics that are
absolutely awesome.
Upside down.
Absolutely awesome.
We have these original comics that I have a lot upside down. These original comics are available on our Patreon. If you pledge the Megazord tier, you get one of these comics and one of our Power Rangers shirts. So
I love that shirt, actually. I was going to comment on that earlier and I forgot. I love that. Yes, I love that, dude.
So head on over to crimsonvisionstudios.com. We have opportunities for merchandise, voting, and even the opportunity to be in one of our episodes. So make sure you check that out. And other than that, just keep an eye on the different YouTubes. We have a lot of stuff in the works, a lot of stuff in post-production. And then I'm diving into filming again for a project that I don't think has been announced. Another found footage project is starting next week. So we got a lot coming in and we have a lot already on the way out. So be on the lookout for those.
Nice. And while you were talking about that, I just remembered that I didn't mention Solaris. That's actually on the top of my list as well. That's one of the ones that I'm actually really interested in. I know there's going to be a brand shift and all that stuff that we talked about, but I'm actually really interested in that because it is an original work and it's just something about it. Like it just, I don't know, man. It just really resonated with me, dude. I mean, congratulations on that. I really hope that continues and has major success. Everybody, please go follow Colin K. Bass, spelled exactly how it sounds, on Instagram, and everything that you need that we've talked about today. All of that's available in his bio. You can hit the Crimson Vision Studios. You can hit the Nerdbot, and everything is right there. Everything you need is perfectly available on Colin K. Bass's Instagram. And for everybody tuning in, thank you for watching, for liking, for commenting, for sharing, for doing all those beautiful things that you do over on youtube.com/Side Projekt Podcast. Remember, that's Project with a K. And thank you for watching on Spotify if you do, as the videos are now available on Spotify as of, I don't know, a couple episodes ago. And thank you for listening on Apple, Google, and all things that you do, and rate and review, and you do all this thing. Thumbs up. I appreciate it from the bottom of my heart. If you're looking for me, you can find me at IG Hates Chazzy on Instagram, and everything else you need to find is right here on the screen. You can do it. It's not clickable, but it's in the descriptions. You can click it there and you can go to it. If you're looking for the podcast as a whole, you can find it on Instagram at Side Projekt Podcast. Don't forget to get the new Run It Up merch and the new gaming merch that I got too, and all the new mugs and all the. There's hats. There's all these hats. I'm sure you guys saw that. Oh, and I'm dropping things. That's what happens. See, I get the new hats, the Project Park hats. They come in a couple different variations and a couple different colors. I thank you guys so much from the bottom of my heart. I appreciate it. I wish I could tap into your Speed Force and Speed Force out of here, you know?
That'd be a good ending.
I know, right? Thank you guys so much. I appreciate it.